Bill Gates is a computer whiz. He taught himself programming at the age of 13, was a dropout at Harvard, and started the company we've just described at the age of 19. Now 28. What are your annual revenues at Microsoft?
We're expecting to do just over $100 million this year.
At what age did you yourself become a millionaire?
Well,
the rest is history. You know that guy? Of course, Bill Gates here, the co-founder of Microsoft, is a big reason why we all have computers on our desks and in our homes. Well, now he's showing a whole new side of himself in his new book. It's called Source Code, and it recounts his childhood, the early days of his career, and the personal relationships that helped lay his foundation for success. Bill, good morning. It's good to see you.
Great to see you.
The book is called Source Code. Good title. It's It's your origin story. I have to say, I've known you a little bit over the years. You don't seem like a let's get on the couch and unpack my childhood kind of guy. What was this like for you? Was it painful, exhilarating, fun, scary?
I was surprised because I don't look back much. You know, there's so much good innovation going forward. But, you know, this year I turned 70. Microsoft turns 50. And so I thought, okay, I should share, you know, what luck I had to have amazing parents, you know, the way they let me go out and hike and try out new things. The time I was born, you know, I was just unbelievably lucky. And, you know, that's why Microsoft ended up being so successful.
It's fun to read these stories. You were kind of a free-range kid. And if you looked up precocious in the dictionary, I think this is the picture that we'd see right here. I mean, you taught yourself how to code at 13 years old, right? You developed a computerized scheduling program for your high school at 16, got yourself a gig programming for the West Coast Power Grid at 17. Oh, and at 19, co-founded Microsoft. I mean, I was smoking cigarettes at Denny's at this time. Behind it all, though, you reveal in this book that there was what you call a persistent need to prove yourself, a deep insecurity. Why? Who did you want to prove yourself to?
Well, probably my mom most of all. You know, I had a wonderful childhood. You know, other than one close friend passing away, you know, my parents were around. We were well off. They took us on trips. Any books I wanted, they provided. So there was tension where my mom was kind of pushing me, and I always had to decide, do I disagree with her or do I try and succeed so much that, you know, she'll say, okay, you win.
You were a difficult child, and you write a lot about that. You were also, what you say, not so exactly close to normal. I have to just bring up a funny story from the book where you actually, in 4th grade, brought a literal cow lung to show and tell. Other people were bringing, presumably, stuffed animals, and this is what you brought. Okay, that's probably enough of that video. You were different, and you say in the book, you saved this revelation for toward the end. You say you think if you had been born today, you would probably have been diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Have you been diagnosed? Why do you think that?
There's no formal diagnosis, but my social skills were very slow to develop. Even as an adult, I kind of rock when I'm thinking about things. I don't even know that I'm doing it.
Even now.
And, you know, I was in school, there were teachers who said I should be pushed ahead, and there were teachers who said I should be pushed back. So that was kind of confusing, both for me and my parents. And I had a lot of energy, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. You know, even though we didn't have a diagnosis, my parents sent me to a therapist, which helped. They sent me to a private school. So what they ended up doing was fantastic.
You have been in the news a lot lately, doing a lot of interviews. You recently sat down before inauguration with Donald Trump 3 hours at Mar-a-Lago. What were you've had your ups and downs with Donald Trump. What was that like? What were your impressions?
Well, the Gates Foundation works on saving lives, and the U.S. government has been an incredible partner, you know, buying HIV medicines that keep tens of millions of people alive. And there's so much innovation that can be done, you know, a vaccine for HIV. So I went to see President Trump to say, look, you know, we both believe in saving lives. What can we do to accelerate innovation? With the COVID vaccine, he did accelerate the availability of that.
And you said he seemed receptive in the meeting, but then fast forward 3 weeks later, he signs an executive order withdrawing the U.S. from the World Health Organization, Elon Musk shutting down USAID, freezing foreign aid. So do you feel like he was sort of placating you, or do you still feel hopeful?
No, I'm still hopeful. I think all Americans can agree that keeping people alive, for very little money, we should be proud of that. It started back with President Bush. There's some disruption going on now, and I want to, engage positively to get things back on track.
What do you think about Elon Musk? Okay, you have history too. As the kids would say, you've got beef. Okay, you've had your ups and downs as well. You recently said that some of the stuff he's doing with far-right politicians overseas is insane stuff, bleep. Knowing Elon as you do, are you comfortable with the amount of power he's wielding inside the U.S. government right now?
Well, I admire the great private sector stuff he's done. SpaceX, Tesla, both amazing companies. I think in the case of USAID, he doesn't appreciate the phenomenal work that goes on. It's not partisan work. It's nutrition. It's avoiding.
He says it's beyond repair.
Well, I give billions of dollars to the same thing that USAID does. I go out in the field and study these things. I hire scientists. And so, I think if he really knew the work there, he wouldn't be telling 10,000 people not to come and do that work.
Yeah. Let's talk about you, your personal life. This is a very personal book. Last time I think you were here, it was with the end of the pandemic. You had just been through a difficult time, and we talked at length about your separation and divorce from Melinda, your wife of 27 years. And you recently said that was the biggest regret of your life. What did you mean by that? Well,
my business career, although there have been some ups and downs, has been incredibly phenomenal. My kids are phenomenal. So it's even hard for me to say, complain about things. I moved past the divorce. Melinda's doing well. I've got a lot of work that I love to do. So, I'm not really complaining about anything.
No, but when you say regret, like if you could wave a magic wand, it wouldn't have happened.
No, I wouldn't go that far. And I, even despite the fact that the divorce wasn't great, having those 3 kids, the work we were able to do together, even if I knew that it wouldn't last forever, I would still do it again. And
you have lots of good things in your life. You have 2 new little granddaughters. And again, your red carpet official, there's a woman in your life named Paula Hurd.
That's right. I'm lucky to have a serious girlfriend named Paula. So we're having fun going to the Olympics and lots of great things.
What about those grandkids? I know they're little, but you were precocious. Possible coders, do you think? Do you see any hints of genius there?
Well, you never want to push kids to do the same thing that you did.
Especially when they're 10 months old.
Yeah. The oldest is turning 2 next week. And so I got, some nice fluffy dolls. I'll try and be a good grandfather, read some books like my grandparents did.
Well, there's some great stories about your grandma in particular in the book. Bill, thank you so much. It's great to have you here. The book is called Source Code, and it is out today.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.